What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. Today was a really weird day for the market. We saw some stocks just fly up to the upside, like Ford, popping up nearly 12% today alone. And then on the other side, we saw a lot of tech stocks just get destroyed. AMD was down nearly 4%. Apple was down about 1.5%. So there was a really big divergence between a lot of different stocks today. So in this video, we're going to explain why that happened and some good setups for tomorrow. But with that being said, let us know what stocks you are watching in the comments down below, and we'll probably cover them in tomorrow's video. But Tom, let's get right into it.
Yeah, Mike, like you said, the market was all over the place today. We saw the SPY dip down. We saw the QQQ actually start to fall down pretty drastically with these tech stocks. And, there was some pretty bad news that came out. Apparently, a record 4.5 million workers quit their jobs in November. That is not good. And then there was a second bad piece of news that said that the U.S. reports over 1 million new daily COVID cases as the new Omicron variant surging. So that really made the market kind of go all over. Like you said, some of these big tech stocks like AMD and Nvidia specifically started getting hit really hard. And I'll be honest, AMD had a pretty nice up day yesterday, and the way it fell down today was pretty bad. It broke below that 144 support and it's not looking too good heading into tomorrow. But like you said, some stocks that did good were Ford, and then some of the bank stocks like Bank of America and JP Morgan started really popping off.
Absolutely. And another really important thing is that rates rose a decent amount today. And normally when rates rise, that hurts a lot of growth companies, but it really helps companies like you could say the bank stocks and even some value stocks. And sometimes it even helps oil plays. So that's interesting. And with everything being said right now, Tom, even though the market was kind of whacked today, we had some stocks just explode to the upside. I know you have Oxy pulled up right now, OXY. That was up 7.5% today. And it wasn't just OXY. Even Boeing had a decent day. Even Coca-Cola had a pretty good day. And then just a lot of other stocks, like even Ford just killed it today.
Yeah, Ford had a really good day today, and they actually had some great news in the morning, Mike. Ford has been really running up over the past few months. If we look at Ford on the daily chart, you can see how explosive this move was today. A 12% move out of a company like Ford is no joke, guys. And they had some news come out this morning that said that they they plan to nearly double their annual production capacity of the electric F-150 Lightning, and they're going to up it to 150,000 vehicles per year at their plant in Michigan. And they're citing strong consumer demand for the pickup truck as the main reason to increase this output. And that's about the best type of news you could get as a company trying to innovate and push a new product like this truck. And just like we're seeing, they're up 12% and they're getting that nice explosive movement. And on the other side, a lot of the other stocks are falling in the market, but Ford really outperformed.
Absolutely. And I know, just like you said, there is a ton of demand for their Ford F-150 Lightning, and it doesn't mean anything if they can't produce. And, for them to have a goal to nearly double their annual production for that Ford F-150 Lightning, that would be huge. So, the stock's up today, and, it's awesome to see.
Yeah, it is. And General Motors actually went up in sympathy with Ford. And then, believe it or not, we had Tesla actually fall off to the downside, along with NIO, Lucid, and a couple other EVs. So it seems like Ford and General Motors are really keeping their names up there. I know Ford had the main news, but General Motors was kind of following along. And Mike, we did have some pretty good news come out today where Warren Buffett apparently profited over $120 billion on Apple's rise up to the $3 trillion market cap. Apparently it's among one of his best bets ever. And this is just insane to see how apparently whenever they acquired a 5% stake in Apple in 2018 for $36 billion, that it's now worth over $160 billion. That is just an insane number there. And, we know Warren Buffett's made a killing in the past, but that's some insane profits.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy to see. And I saw that recently there's a lot of talk about how Warren Buffett's good friend, Charlie Munger, is making some pretty big bets to the upside with Alibaba.
Yeah, he is. There was actually a report that came out today, I believe, on Bloomberg. Someone put it in the Discord. It was actually awesome to see. And it actually had a pretty nice pop to the upside at the end of the day. I believe it was Cyberclays who put that in there. And it looks like Baba had a great day. Like you said, Charlie Munger's doubling down on his position. Honestly, I can't believe he's doubling down again on it. I know he averaged in a while ago too, and I'm glad to see him getting in. Maybe this will finally be the bottom for these Chinese stocks. I know Baba has been around this like 115 support for a long time now.
Yeah, like a lot of these China stocks are at great levels. It just they have their own unique risks with them. It's like it's not your typical play, but then again, they're at good levels, and it looks like Charlie Munger is pretty confident. So we shall see.
Yeah, he is. That's awesome to see. And whenever we're looking at these China stocks, I mean, it's going to be hard. Like you said, there is always that added risk. And, it does suck to see. And I have seen that Evergrande is doing a little bit better as well. So maybe that'll help these China stocks too.
Here we go. So that's the main news for today. And then, Tom, I believe we have the Fed minutes tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we do have the Fed minutes tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's going to be a pretty big event. If they do end up talking about maybe like raising rates sooner than expected or something like that, maybe expect the market to take another dip like it did today. But in the end, we'll have to see what they end up talking about.
There we go. So with that being said, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have CAT to the upside.
Yeah, Caterpillar killed it today. Go ahead and make them break out above 219.
All right, with the next one, we have JP Morgan also to the upside.
Yeah, make JP Morgan break out above 168.60.
And then with the last one, we have AMD, but to the downside.
Yeah, this one was crazy. Go ahead and make AMD fall below 140.70 to the downside. And if they end up falling down again, that could be a pretty big move.
For sure. So we are watching AMD for a potential day trade to the downside only if it breaks below the level Tom listed. And then we are watching CAT and JP Morgan for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow only if they break above the levels Tom listed. But let's shout out our member of the day, and it is Shelly J on YouTube. Huge shout out, Shelly. Thank you so much for being a great member of the Discord, but also thank you so much for all of your support on YouTube. Tom and I really appreciate it, and comments help us more than you guys know. So we really appreciate everyone who leaves comments on YouTube. It really helps us out. So thank you guys so much. And with that being said, let's get right into the comments from the previous video. With the first comment, we have Justin saying, hi, what do you guys think about Uber? So Uber right now for the short term is looking pretty good, actually. It's not my favorite play for the long term. I just like other plays better, but for the short term, it has some decent momentum, and yeah, it doesn't look bad.
Yeah, it doesn't. It looks pretty good. We are right around this resistance around $45 even. And if we do end up breaking that, I think Uber could end up having a pretty good run maybe tomorrow or over the next few days. Like you said, it has a lot of momentum today. Looks pretty good, especially with a lot of other stocks kind of in the red.
Sounds good. And then we have C saying, can you please review Affirm tomorrow? So AFRM had a pretty tough day today, as did a lot of other growth companies. I like this one for the long term. It was running off of some amazing news a couple months ago, but it's definitely looking pretty tough right now. For me, the main opportunity with this one is just getting shares for the long term, or like maybe selling puts, so sell to open puts, like it's like a cash secured put.
Yeah, I think that would be the really, obviously the smartest way to go, especially with that IV starting to get up here. We're almost back up to 100%, which is pretty high over the past like 6 months. I will say it looks pretty good for cash secured puts, like you said. And honestly, it's starting to fill this gap on the daily to the downside. So if we break below $80, maybe watch it fall down to like 75, which will kind of fill that gap.
Sounds good. And then we have William saying, could you guys take a look at SAVA? What do you think? So SAVA is a biopharmaceutical company, and they're pretty big into like neuroscience. My thing is like these companies can go absolutely crazy, and that's awesome. It's just these biotechnology companies are extremely volatile. So as we can see on the chart, 1 month it's at 146, and a couple weeks later it's down to like, what is that, Tom? Like $40, and then a couple weeks later it's back up to 100, and now it's back down to 40. So it's extremely volatile. There's a lot of potential for reward, but it's definitely pretty risky.
Yeah, it is. Like Mike said, the volatility on these is crazy. I've seen these stocks go crazy for years now, and looking at it, I've seen BIIB. Like if we look at them over the longer term, like man, like they get these like humongous like jets to the upside and then huge moves back down. These biotech companies really are news driven too. So I feel like SAVA has had a lot of hype over the past year, but honestly, like if it holds a 40 support, I think it'll be pretty good. But like Mike said, definitely be careful with it.
And then just like Tom said, they're really influenced by the news. So like any type of catalyst that comes out, earnings or like any like black swan event will be huge for a company like this. So definitely keep that in mind. And then we have Shelly saying, any thoughts on the updated status of AMD's proposed acquisition of XLNX? So yeah, as of the last article I read, they are expected to close the deal in the first quarter of 2022. So the first quarter of this year. I know that there's like a lot that goes into mergers and acquisitions. So I guess it's slightly unfortunate to see the deal delayed, but for now, it's just I guess it's just something we have to deal with. But besides that, AMD is holding up pretty well, and it's I don't know, it's not looking bad.
Yeah, it's not looking terrible on the daily. I think it looks a lot better than it does intraday. I don't know what happened today with these chip stocks. They just had big pullbacks. But as far as XLNX goes, I think it's a little bit overextended on the daily. But honestly, I hope they all end up holding up because, these chip stocks have been so explosive the past few years. Like, you would just have to think like they're honestly like powerhouses now, to be honest. Like, Nvidia has been moving almost like in an Apple type of way.
Exactly. All right. Well, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or anything for tomorrow?
Man, Ford was insane today, but I really like how some of these growth stocks or I should say value stocks are starting to go up. Some of my favorites are Kraft Heinz KHC and then Clorox CLX. Both of these stocks had pretty good days today, along with the rest of the value stocks like Coca-Cola, Target, and a lot of the other ones. And looking at them, I think these will be pretty good plays for inflation over the next few months. I have been hitting on these ones quite a bit, but I love them. They're like right at these support levels, and they are starting to move pretty well this week. So hopefully we start to see some pretty good breakouts soon. And I feel like these ones might be, obviously they're not the most talked about stocks. They're definitely no Tesla, but I think they'll be good for the long term.
There we go. And then we'll just shout out the bot play really quickly. If you trade options, definitely check out the first link in the description and the comments down below. Today's play was with VXX call options. It was not the most explosive play in the world, but it was pretty decent. It was alerted at $54 each and it popped up to $70 each. Now it's like a 29.6% pop. So not bad. Of course, it wasn't like 175% or anything like that, but still, it's not bad. The bot generally does pretty good. And for 2021, on average, each play popped for 33.6%. So it's pretty good, especially for day trades. If you do decide to try out the program, you get access to swing trades, day trades, and access to an awesome community and a bunch of custom bots. The link for that is the first link in the description and the comments down below. With that being said, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. Other than that, thanks for watching.